Good evening. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Kyle Clark. Work to recover the airplane that collided with a helicopter near Reagan National Airport in Washington last night is expected to begin tomorrow. All 64 people on that American flight from Wichita and the 3 service members on the Army Black Hawk are now presumed dead. DC Fire says divers have searched everywhere they can at this point. Tomorrow they'll work with the National Transportation Safety Board to begin bringing up parts of the aircraft. The NTSB says divers have found both flight recorders. As the NTSB investigation just begins, President Trump is openly speculating about what caused the crash and casting blame on his political opponents as well as minorities.
9 News reporter Spencer Soysher joins us now. And Spencer, experts say his comments may have compromised the investigation.
Yeah, I spoke with our 9 News aviation expert today who has worked on airline crashes like this one before. And crashes of this scale often lead to change in policies or important safety enhancements. But our expert said today he fears the president's comments could ruin the investigation before it really even gets started. With recovery operations underway in the Potomac River,
they didn't want to interfere with that.
Investigators with the National Transportation Safety Board had to wait hours to fully begin their investigative process.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
In the meantime, President Donald Trump offered several causes for the crash, first suggesting it was the Army pilots and the Black Hawk helicopter, then potentially Democrats and DEI practices in the FAA.
So they want them in and they want them. They can be air traffic controllers. I don't think so.
That really compromised the board's ability to collect all the facts, conditions, and circumstances.
9 News aviation expert Greg Feith is a former senior safety investigator for the NTSB.
Whether it's a document, whether it's an interview, whether it's physical evidence, it has to be fact-based. There were a lot of conclusions drawn during the president's press conference.
He says typically after a crash like this, the NTSB gathers experts from places like the aircraft manufacturer, the pilot union, the airline, then develops some facts to share and shuts down information flow to the outside.
It's very rare that the president, the vice president, or really anybody in the executive branch gets fully involved.
Don't you think you're getting ahead of the investigation right now?
No, I don't think so at all.
So when President Trump openly speculated ahead of the investigation, Feith was surprised.
Really jeopardizes the credibility.
Feith says sometimes information does come out during an investigation, which could cause some theories to be investigated further than others. Feith also says investigators rely on statements from witnesses, or in this case, air traffic controllers, who may now be compelled to speak or not speak a certain way.
When you have statements in the press, very forceful, coming from the highest authority in the United States, people may be reluctant to tell their stories, tell people what they saw.
Feith believes the president's comments don't just threaten the NTSB investigation. The NTSB is supposed to be an independent organization that investigates crashes like these and then makes recommendations for safety changes. So if that process can't happen like it's supposed to, it's not clear what necessary changes can come from this crash. Spencer Soysher, 9 News.
A yet-to-be-released FAA report obtained by NBC News shows that the staffing arrangement at air traffic control at Reagan was not normal last night. One air traffic controller was responsible for coordinating both helicopter traffic and arriving and departing planes. Those duties are often divided between 2 people. The airport typically combines the roles overnight starting at 9:30 p.m. as traffic slows down. But yesterday, the tower supervisor had combined the roles earlier. We spoke to a man named Alan Gorski, who used to work traffic control at the Colorado Springs airport, similar to Reagan in that you have military bases close by. He says he and his former colleagues became concerned about safety, noticing a shift in training and culture at the FAA.
There are many cases of near misses in our system. It's part of flying, unfortunately, and it needs to be resolved. And it continues to still happen even with the technology we have today.
The FAA has struggled with a shortage of air traffic controllers for years now. As of May, the agency said it was short 3,000 people nationwide.
14 people from the U.S. figure skating community were killed in the midair collision. 6 of them were from an historic club in Boston. They were coming back from a national development camp for promising young skaters following the U.S. championships in Wichita. Among them were 2 up-and-coming figure skaters, 13-year-old Gina Han and 16-year-old Spencer Lane.
It's hard to believe that Gina was only 13. A great competitor, both on and off the ice, but incredibly kind, great sense of humor. But she took her skating very seriously. Gina really had plans to be Team USA and to make the Olympics. Spencer was referred to as a firecracker, a very young, dynamic skater. He'd only been skating for 2 to 3 years, and his technical ability for that such a short a time was incredible, almost unheard of. I think a lot of folks had their eyes on Spencer also as the future of the sport.
Both of their mothers were also killed in the crash, along with 2 former world champions from Russia who were coaching. This kind of aviation disaster has impacted the skating community before. A plane crash in 1961 killed all 18 members of the U.S. figure skating team. 8 of them were from the Broadmoor Skating Club in Colorado Springs. The club now has a special marble memorial in their honor.
Our latest winter storms come and gone. Now we can look ahead to some beautiful weather for this weekend. 9 News meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen is along for a quick check on the warm-up coming our way.
Yeah, you know, we could hit 50 or we could hit 60 5 days in a row, and it does start tomorrow. Forecast 59. We could easily make it to 60. This is that storm system that rolled through Colorado, southern Colorado today. It's now moving down into the Texas Panhandle, and these showers are starting to dissipate here in Colorado. Here's the temperatures across the Denver metro area. We're 31 degrees here at the 9 News studios, headed down to about the middle 20s for us tomorrow morning. Here's your forecast in Denver tomorrow. We've got lots of sunshine coming our way with temperatures getting very close to 60 degrees, and this will include sunshine for the entire state of Colorado, especially the northeast part. I'll have more on this warm up and what lies ahead. Our next change likely won't come for another 7 days.
Just into the newsroom, King Soopers workers in the Denver metro area could soon be headed to the picket line. The union announced within the last hour the workers in Denver, Boulder, Broomfield, and Parker voted to authorize a strike. The strike could still be avoided because the union has to provide notice, and a deal could be reached in the meantime. The union has not yet set a date for a strike to start. We reached out to King Soopers, and we're waiting to hear back. Boulder police arrested a man today for the murder of a 19-year-old woman back in July. We want to warn you, details surrounding this story might be disturbing for some of our viewers.
9 News reporter Ria Jaz in Boulder for us. Ria, you spoke with that family today.
Yeah, this is the first development of this case that they've heard of since July. So some family members I spoke with took off of work to watch the press conference this afternoon where they announced the suspect was arrested here. He's 52 years old, here at Civic Park this morning.
Is everybody ready?
A step towards closure.
I have been waiting for this moment for 6 months.
Our department has been diligently working since July of 2024 on this case, and I'm pleased to announce today that an arrest has been made for the murder of 19-year-old Zariah Hardy.
I'm shaking. Sorry.
Zariah Hardy's mom, Anna Savidra, and close family friend Karma Har huddled around a screen in their home in Wyoming to watch Boulder police announce an arrest in Zariah's murder. It's been 6 months since police received a call about an abandoned bike trailer on Goss Street.
Upon arrival, detectives found the decomposing remains of Zariah Hardy wrapped inside several layers of blankets on that trailer.
Police arrested 52-year-old Jimmy West. They say he and Zariah were both unhoused, last seen near his encampment. Zariah's family feeling equally relieved at the news of his arrest, as they were horrified to learn details of Zariah's death from court documents.
Like, it sickens me.
A medical examiner ruled the cause of death a result of blunt force head injuries and probable asphyxia. Police say Zariah was bound with rope and had tape covering her mouth when they found her. Court documents also show Zariah got in contact with West in the first place because her boyfriend sold her to him, quote, likely accepting drugs as payment.
She was being human trafficked.
Yeah. Basically, she was being trafficked for drugs, most likely.
By somebody who was supposed to care for her.
Zariah should be here today. She should not have been living on the streets of Boulder and should not have been victimized and ultimately murdered on our streets.
The closure that we're getting today is one part of it.
The first step on a difficult path forward.
Here soon you're going to see some anger.
Yeah.
The suspect told police the bike trailer Zariah was found in was stolen from him before her death. Police found out he was lying and also linked a number of other items on scene that day to him. His first court appearance is set for tomorrow morning. Reporting live in Boulder, Ria Cha, 9 News.
Coloradans recently voted to put the right to same-sex marriage in the state constitution a couple months ago. Now there's an effort to bring state law in line. Two separate things. The Constitution trumps state law, but there still is that one man, one woman reference in state statute. Democratic legislators sponsored a bill to remove that outdated language. It passed its first hearing today, 3-2 vote. The two Republicans on the committee voted against it without explanation. It's a new era in Denver. We're getting a team in the National Women's Soccer League.
As 9 News reporter Colton Chavez shows us, soccer fans pretty psyched.
The announcement came earlier today here at number 38. For Denver, they became the league's 16th team. But for fans, they're calling it the Sweet 16.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Whether you're starting out in the sport or have watched women's soccer for over a decade.
Right now I support ACFC in LA, but I'd much rather have a team here.
It's a dream turned reality for soccer fans in Denver who won't have to travel out of state now that Denver is getting its own professional women's soccer team.
We've been such soccer fans for so long. We've traveled to NWSL games in Seattle, U.S. women's national team games.
Like, if I'm going to be that committed, I'd so much rather have it be a local team and be able to show up weekly.
It's very, like, you're on the edge of your seat, you're so excited, you want to know what happens next.
The team name and their colors still to be announced, but fans did learn the stadium will be built somewhere in Denver.
A lot of folks that I know have been begging for more information. The fact that we're finally here today and that they're going to start announcing more, you're going to see a hell of a reaction, I think.
A reaction that's already rebounding across the Mile High City.
So I can't wait. I'm ready. I'm so ready to get those season tickets and show up every week for them.
Inspiring lifelong fans in Colorado before a single ticket can be sold.
I want to be a goalie for USW and team national team.
So if you're wondering how they plan to pay for the stadium is through private dollars. Fans can also get a head start on season tickets. That link is on our website at 9news.com. In Denver, Colton Chavez, 9 News.